Hi, my name is Michelle Staudt. I am an avid runner of marathons and long distance running, lover of all things running related, and clinic manager at Align Modern Health in Lincoln Square. I'm here to answer some questions on running your virtual marathon. Who knew 2020 was going to be the year that I would get to run the Boston Marathon 2 times, and neither one of those in Boston. This past April, I ran the Boston Marathon on the day it would have been held here in Chicago. And then a few weeks ago, I ran the virtual Boston Marathon experience in Lake Geneva and ran around the lake. My experience in April was fantastic. The idea came about over a few beers a few nights before I did the run, and I plotted out the course to visit many of my running friends who live in Chicago. Many of us hadn't seen each other for quite a while because of COVID and the lack of racing and training together. So I managed to visit 18 houses along my course and say hi to many friends, and it was wonderful. It was a lot of fun. It was very similar to in the marathon when you're looking for that next friend or the next mile where you'll see someone that you know. My experience in Lake Geneva was the exact opposite, and it was me by myself running around the lake. Equally amazing and very, very fun, but completely different. Any advice I would give to someone running the virtual Chicago Marathon or any marathon would be to plan ahead. Plan out where you want your aid stations to be if you have friends and family out there who are going to help, or plot out a place where you can leave some hydration or nutrition if you're not carrying it with you. Make plans for best and worst case scenario. My first virtual marathon that I did here in April, I stayed quite a bit on the north side, so I knew that if I needed to head home for an emergency, if anything happened, I knew I could get home pretty quickly. In Lake Geneva, I planned for the worst case scenario. I brought my own toilet paper. I brought my phone. I had Advil, and I packed my hydration pack to really include anything I might possibly need in the worst case scenario, and luckily didn't have to use any of it. You won't have a force like the Chicago Marathon puts out there to help with every little need you might have. So make sure you're thinking through not just your nutrition and hydration, but every little thing that you might encounter that you need during that run. That leads me to hydration and nutrition. I definitely recommend carrying something with you. Although you might have friends and family out there along your course that you've designed who will have things for you, having your own on you is nice so that you can rely on that if you need it, if you're not able to meet up with those people, or if you need something in between running into people that you have out there. I ran with a hydration vest, which allowed me to pack a good amount of water, and then I had my phone in case there was any emergencies. I had all of my nutrition with me. I had Advil in case I needed it, or another pain reliever, which luckily I never needed for my runs. I also had, for my first virtual run, directions, because I was hitting up so many friends' homes that I needed to know which way to turn and which streets to go on to make it to the next stop. So I wrote them on postcards, and every time I hit one person's house, I would toss one postcard and move on to the next so that I had directions. So good idea if you are running in an area you're not as familiar with, if you're not running on the lakefront or another similar plan like that, is making sure you know where you're going. Definitely having your phone, and that way you can contact anyone if you find yourself without something that you do need. Also making sure you have your credit card if you are running somewhere where you'll have access to a store if you do find you need more than what you've brought with you. But running with a pack is a great way to make sure that you've got a good amount of water and enough carrying capabilities to have all the nutrition that you've been training with up till this point, and maybe even a small handheld so that you could bring a separate source of hydration if you're used to running with both water and Gatorade. Looking at how Align Services has helped through my training, I am a big fan. Not only do I work there, but I certainly take advantage of all of our services. From chiropractic care, I get adjustments regularly. I have some spinal issues, as most of us do, so I do like to get adjusted every couple weeks. I also have issues with my ankles. They're pretty flexible, so having the doctor take a look at that and kind of pop them back in so that I am lined up and running as efficiently as possible. For acupuncture, I am a huge fan. I have arthritis in my spine, and so getting treated whenever I feel a flare up there, especially during training, is super important for me. As most of us runners do, I tend to hunch up my shoulders, so getting some acupuncture to take that down a notch is great. And massage. I usually get an hour massage every couple of weeks during training. Leading up to the big race, I'll usually get a massage maybe 48 to 72 hours before, maybe just a 30-minute massage, and then plan one for about 48 hours after the run, a good hour massage to work out the kinks. This year, the Chicago Marathon weekend is looking a little different for most of us. I think most of us feel a little sad that it's not happening in the way that we envisioned it, but there's so much fun to be had still. You go out there and make the run your own. Figure out what it was that you were looking forward to for the real experience and recreate that. If you were looking forward to seeing your friends and family, enlist them for help during your virtual run. Have them out at specific spots on your course and have them make signs. Ask them for help. They've been here for you this entire time during training. They'll be here for you during your event. If you were looking forward to just going fast and far, find a course where you can do that. If it's just going on the lakefront, so it's a nice straightaway and you can go for speed, do that. But find the thing that you were looking forward to the most and recreate that to the best of your ability. While it's not the same, there's a lot of fun we can have out of this, and you learn so much about what you're capable of when you have to do all of it on your own. Last words of wisdom for runners getting out to run virtually this week: go have fun. Plan for the best, but have fun. Be prepared if things don't go quite as you expected. There'll be hiccups. That's okay. There are hiccups behind the scenes at the marathon too, I'm sure. So just be prepared for anything. Carry everything with you. Go have a great time. Relying on yourself for everything, you'll be surprised at what you're able to do.